Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Maximilian College Basketball Conference Tournament previews and analysis. Today, we will be going over the Horizon League Conference Tournament. And yes, super excited here to be going over conference tournaments here and introducing this new variation of our pick series. We're going to go through, I'm going to try to go through every conference here and see if we can find any value we can here on the future sport. Conference tournament, best time of the year, honestly, in my opinion. March Madness, it's great, but it's so nice, especially in these one bid conferences, man. Every game matters. It's life or death, and they're just fighting for the opportunity to make it to the big dance. You get a clean slate. Everyone starts 0-0. And yeah, I mean, this is just one of the best times of the year. We're officially into March and conference tournament. It's a great time to ramp up and get ready for the tournament. So we're going to try and go, like I said, going to try and go through every conference here and find some value. But yeah, let's first start with the Horizon here, which is the first conference tournament to start us off with a game on Monday, actually. A little play-in game between Cleveland State and IU Indy, with the winner taking on one-seeded Wright State. Now, this tournament is a hybrid of sorts. It has a mixture of campus site games for round one, and then they will go ahead and reseed and play on a neutral court in Indy. And the way the reseeding works here is your top three seeds will advance to the semifinals, with whoever the top seed remaining will play the winner of that. You can see that little second round game. The worst two seeds will have to play an additional game to play whoever the top seed remaining is. And then the other semifinal match is the second and third best seed remaining. Winner of that will go to the championship. So kind of, different. This isn't your traditional bracket format, which does kind of throw a wrench in plans when you're trying to find a futures winner, trying to predict this one, because, we don't know exactly who's going to play in this one. We got the first round matchups. That's what we know. And after the dust settles, after that, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and start with the odds board here. We got, to no surprise, the favorites are the 1 and 2 seeds, one-seeded Wright State plus 200, and the 2-seed Robert Morris plus 320. Now, what is kind of not a surprise to me per se, but something you might not expect is the 4-seeded Oakland is actually the third favorite here at plus 425, and 3-seeded Detroit is actually the same odds here as Green Bay at 10-1. I actually don't mind the fact that Oakland here is ahead of 3-seed Detroit, as I agree with the market here. Detroit, they are first in 3-point splits, both offense and defense. And I don't know that that's necessarily because of their talent, or it's just more of a, you get good shooting variance in the regular season. That's just what has happened to this team. And not only that, but I think this Detroit team, they take really bad shots. They're 354th in shot quality, shot selection, which that grades each attempt that they take. And they just don't take good shots. And that's why they're 11th in the Horizon in 2-point percentage. So even with that, bad 2-point percentage, they just won a bunch of close games too. So I actually agree with the market here, maybe disrespecting this Detroit team a little. And for that reason, Detroit was the first team that I actually drew a line through. Actually, that's false. The first teams I drew a line through were IU, Indy, and Cleveland State. Sorry, guys, but at 500-1, I will not be making a donation there. So I did draw a line through those two teams and Detroit. So then for the rest of the field, we got NKU at 14-1, Youngstown 16-1, Purdue Fort Wayne at 45-1, and Milwaukee at 65-1. So I do think your best bet, your strategy here for this tournament is handicap the round one matchups. That's what we know. Let's at least start with those first round matchups that start with what you know, and then let's work our way on from there. And starting with that first matchup, Wright State versus whoever comes out of that play-in game, Cleveland State, IU, Indy, kind of a coin flip there. But I would assume Wright State can take care of business here. Right, they were a combined 3-1 versus those teams. Cleveland State was actually one that was able to pick them off at Wright State, but this Cleveland State team, they're very up and down. They won 5 straight at some point and then followed it up with a 7 straight losing streak that they're currently on. That's because Cleveland State, they're 7th in the nation in three-point frequency. And when you shoot a bunch of threes like that, you're going to lead to some high variance games. So, that's probably what you want to do if you want a chance to beat Wright State. But, Cleveland State's defense is so bad. So I'm going to go ahead and assume Wright State can take care of business, whoever they play here. Next up, you got the 2 versus 9. Robert Morris is already 2-0 on that Youngstown squad. Robert Morris are a great rebounding team, and Youngstown, that squad really struggles on the road, and they're very turnover prone. So I think Robert Morris can move the 3-0 and take care of business there. Detroit versus Milwaukee. Now, this would be my upset pick here. I do have 8-seeded Milwaukee over Detroit. This Detroit team, like I said, they just take bad shots. They've been on the right side of three-point variance, and I think that might bite them here in this one. Detroit really doesn't force turnovers either, and Milwaukee, they crash the glass very effectively. So I think they do have a chance to win the possession battle here and put themselves in a good spot to pull off the upset. Oakland versus NKU. Greg Campy, legendary coach, already 2-0 on this Northern Kentucky squad. And, this does kind of stink for NKU. I think they are kind of sneaky Horizon team here, but they draw a bad matchup having to play Oakland. So, because you'd rather be the 8th seed like Milwaukee and play Detroit. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and trust Campy here to take care of business at home. And for the last one, you got the 5-6 matchup, Green Bay, already 2-0 versus Purdue Fort Wayne squad. And, one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It really isn't. If you match up well, you already won twice. It's really not that hard to win a 3rd time. It happens all the time. I don't know how it got started. I don't know why people say it. But, yeah, if you win twice in the regular season, it's for a reason. You probably match up pretty well. And this Green Bay team, they've got some shot making on that team. And Purdue Fort Wayne, they just do not have they just don't have the shot making to keep up with Green Bay, in my opinion. And that's why, it's what did I say? It's a 5-6 matchup. And look at the difference between Green Bay's odds, 10-1 and Purdue Fort Wayne 45-1. They just, not big believers in that Purdue Fort Wayne squad. And I agree with that assessment as well. So now that we've got our first round matchups done, after that, they're going to reseed and whatnot. And then I think it comes down to, what team can knock off Wright State in the final. Because I do think 1-seed Wright State has set themselves up in a nice position here to make it to the championship. And I am going to go ahead and take Robert Morris for half a unit here at plus 320. I think they have the best chance to do that. Robert Morris, they're the best rebounding team in the Horizon. Number 1 in both offense and defensive rebound rate. And, that rebounding advantage is what led them to the auto bid last year, as this team did punch the Horizon ticket last season. They're also extremely balanced, both on offense and defense, and they come into the tournament here on a 7-game win streak. They're playing their best ball at the right time, which is exactly what you want to do. And this versus Wright State team, they're already 2-0 this year versus them. And if they were to meet up in the championship, I do believe that Robert Morris would be a slight favorite over this team. So Robert Morris, they've also shown that their game can travel as well. They're 7-4 on the road in conference play versus 6-3 at home. So they actually do have more wins on the road this year. And I think being able to play on the road is huge when you get these conference tournaments that are on neutral venues. So I really trust Robert Morris here. Their game travels. So for the first conference future of the season, I am going to go ahead and put a half unit on Robert Morris to punch the Horizon ticket to the big dance. And that will do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and go ahead and subscribe and check out any other tournament previews. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.